I didn't even prepare. You know what I mean? I just wanted to hurry up and come get to y'all during survival. Everybody smash that like button. That's all I need y'all to do. Smash that like button soon as y'all come in the building. And I want everybody to remember what I said a few days ago during survival about all of these alleged victims. If they keep coming up and their stories are not matching, it's going to make Diddy become a free freak off man during survival. You know what I'm saying? So now, and y'all know that Diddy got these powerful ass lawyers, you know what I'm saying? And they know the law. They know the law. So if these people keep coming up and they mess it up for the real victims, salute to Paul Diddy Glover's team. They done filed for another mistrial, pure survival. Diddy's team is saying this man is going to be out by the 4th of July. So when we lighten up our fireworks, Diddy Glover's going to be lighting up somebody's tasty cakes. Salute to Shy. Yo, everybody get them likes up soon as y'all come in the building. That's the last time I'm going to say it. But this is not no surprise. This is no surprise. This is the process that they're taking as these alleged victims keep going up on that stand and their stories are not matching whatsoever. It's looking more and more every time somebody go up there to testify that they all were willing participants. I am sorry, y'all. This is not me taking up for Diddy Glover whatsoever. You know what I mean? My heart goes out to the real victims. And I apologize if I have not heard one real victim yet. I haven't. You know what I'm saying? Assault, aggravated assault, whatever. I saw that in the Cassie video, pure survival. But I have not seen sex trafficking. You know what I mean? I've seen a bunch of people high on all kinds of drugs volunteering to be flown and fucked during survival. And now Diddy's team, Diddy's team just filed for the second mistrial. And I'm telling you, if the stuff keep turning out with these people's stories not adding up, they're going to end up, I don't think they're going to grant him this mistrial, but I think it's going to lead all the way up to the trial date for it to turn out to become a mistrial during survival. That's just my thought, y'all. I'm sorry. Smash that like button, everybody. But you can even listen to how these people talking already on the witnesses. What the alleged victims are saying is messing this whole case up.
A street soldiers on location special from federal court. Diddy on trial. The fight of his life. I'm so glad you're joining us for this special episode of Street Soldiers on location at the Diddy trial. I'm your host, Lisa Evers. We're bringing this to you from our pop-up street studio outside federal court. And what a week it has been.
And I saw this lady, I actually recorded her. And they're talking about how the week was with all these different testimonies, which now got Diddy's lawyers. They just filed for another mistrial, y'all. So y'all know I had to come tell y'all and bring it to y'all. This is breaking news, man.
Like, chair pushed back a little bit, his hands in his lap, folded and completely motionless as his former personal assistant, who was using the pseudonym Mia, testified on the stand that she was brainwashed. That's why she kept texting him affectionate messages years after she left. And that even though she testified earlier that he repeatedly sexually assaulted and abused her for years. Now, Diddy.
And do you hear this? This is what the witnesses are saying. I was brainwashed. This is why I continuously text the person who's supposed to have been victimizing me years later. Pure survival. Like, you think that you could just go into the courtroom and say, I was brainwashed. Diddy Glover had brainwashed me. Even though I'm 100 and something years old, the man brainwashed me during survival. This is why I'm telling you guys, Diddy's team just filed for a goddamn mistrial because these stories, the girl said she was dangled from 17 stories. Come to find out, Pure Bible, the girl made the story up. That's not looking good. That doesn't look like a slam dunk case. Like I thought it was going to be from the beginning. Pure Bible. We got to face the damn truth.
Folded and completely motionless as his former personal assistant, who was using the pseudonym Mia, testified on the stand that she was brainwashed. That's why she kept texting him affectionate messages years after she left, and that even though she testified earlier that he repeatedly sexually assaulted and abused her for years. Now, Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, was in court again today, as she is most every day, supporting her son. Mrs. Combs' name came up in testimony by former Bad Boy Chief Financial Officer Derek Ferguson. He told the court she was listed as the owner of a number of Combs businesses. The former CFO, who hails from the Bronx and earned a Harvard MBA, detailed how Combs motivated his staff with his hard work, that he paid his taxes regularly, and that he never saw Combs engaged in prostitution or commit any acts of violence.
Do you hear that? These people saying that they never seen Diddy Glover do none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like professional people man, I'm just telling y'all, look, my team, my squad, my people, we can't be blinded and blindsided if the judge end up granting one of these mistrials or calling it a mistrial. Did he file for the second mistrial? I think it's going to be denied. Like I'm kind of for sure. I will be blown away if the judge be like, mistrial granted. I will be shocked. But I'm telling you, to me, it sounds like it's going to lead to a mistrial in the end, y'all. Like, no matter how bad people want to feel, you want to come up here, yell at me, because I'm telling y'all what's going on, because I'm telling y'all, did he just file for another goddamn mistrial? Just out. You can go ahead and Google it. I'm just explaining to y'all why they can possibly grant this because of the fake victims that's been coming up there, telling these stories, making up their shit while they're on the stand.
Was in court again today, as she is most every day, supporting her son. Mrs. Combs' name came up in testimony by former Bad Boy Chief Financial Officer Derek Ferguson. He told the court she was listed as the owner of a number of Combs businesses. The former CFO, who hails from the Bronx and earned a Harvard MBA, detailed how Combs motivated his staff with his hard work, that he paid his taxes regularly, and that he never saw Combs engaged in prostitution or commit any acts of violence. This was a tough day on the witness stand for this alleged victim, who claimed Sean Diddy Combs dangled her over a 17th floor balcony by her armpits. Now, Brianna Bongalin, you'll see she's...
See, and this is why somebody asked me in my chat, why a mistrial? The reason why a mistrial is because people, like, even the government knows. You're coming out and saying that Diddy Glover dangled you by your breast implants during survival. He dangled you with all these freak off pills inside and drugs in his body, dangled you from your breast implants, and then come back and say you don't remember what day it happened, and then come back and say that you made the story up and have fake bandages and all this type of stuff. That's what causes grounds for a mistrial. When people's stories aren't adding up. You know what I'm saying? Prayers for the real victims, y'all. Because it's people that's money hungry, people that was Diddy's going with your girlfriend. You sneak and start fucking Diddy Glover behind your girlfriend back. Pills of Bible. They are looking at that. The jury is not looking at, it's 8 dudes on the thing. You know, a lot of females will just be, oh, because they know that Diddy's a demon, which we all know, but they'll just say, look, give him life just because he a demon. But he gotta be convicted for sex trafficking, like RICO stuff. That's what the real charge is. It's not for violence. You know what I'm saying? And if the people keep coming up there trying to get money and they see that they're lying, it's going to end up becoming a mistrial, y'all. I'm just sorry. Now, I'm not surprised. I'm giving y'all the breaking news that Diddy just filed for another mistrial. It is out just now. I believe they're going to deny it But about time it comes to the to the trial of guilty, the verdict, we can't. I don't want my people to be surprised if they say mistrial. You know what I mean? I want to explain to my people why, because these people keep getting caught in lies. Y'all smash that like button.
Told the court she was listed as the owner of a number of Combs businesses. The former CFO, who hails from the Bronx and earned a Harvard MBA, detailed how Combs motivated his staff with his hard work, that he paid his taxes regularly, and that he never saw Combs engaged in prostitution or commit any acts of violence. This was a tough day on the witness stand for this alleged victim, who claimed Sean Diddy Combs dangled her over a 17th floor balcony by her armpits. Now, Brianna Bongalin, you'll see she's the woman, the petite blonde wearing the plaid jacket here, was forced to admit under a very, very tough cross-examination that she was not only Cassie Ventura's friend, she was also her drug dealer.
Now, y'all hear that? This Alanis Morissette girl with the long blonde hair saying that Diddy dangled her from her titties and her hair from a balcony. We need to blame people like this. They done found out that she was Cassie's drug dealer. You don't think they're gonna try to go for a mistrial, pure survival? They find that out. When Diddy first got locked up, I thought that Diddy was Cassie's drug dealer during survival. Everything I thought about this trial, when the feds first got Diddy, I thought they had him locked, sealed, signed, and freak off delivered. Pure survival. But now everything is coming out to be the total opposite. Cassie's friends was her drug dealers. Cassie was doing crack out of Pepsi cans before she turned motherfucker 19. You know what I'm saying? If Cassie was buying the goddamn sex workers, the Punisher came out and said that she loved it like a motherfucker and said that her milkshake brings all the sex workers to the yard. That's going to get this trial. This is bad, y'all. This is bad.
Alleged victim, who claimed Sean Diddy Combs dangled her over a 17th floor balcony by her armpits. Now, Brianna Bongalin, you'll see she's the woman, the petite blonde wearing the plaid jacket here, was forced to admit under a very, very tough cross-examination that she was not only Cassie Ventura's friend, she was also her drug dealer. This bombshell testimony happened in the 26th floor courtroom at federal court. Brianna testified that she still has nightmares from when Combs allegedly dangled her by her armpits over that balcony. I have to tell you.
And then they found out that that was a lie. Why would you say you had nightmares of Diddy Glover dangling you from a freak off balcony if it never happened? How can you know what I'm saying? How can people win the case if these people saying that they done had nightmares? Diddy Glover, no, we're gonna have to call him Diddy Cougar. Diddy Cougar was in this girl's dreams at night. You know what I mean? She done made fake bandages, everything. They done found out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So as I said, we cannot be blindfolded. We can't be surprised, and don't get excited when they deny Diddy's second mistrial. I don't even want my people to get excited, pure Bible, because you know the people that's only pushing the Diddy's guilty, he's going to jail for life. The only people that's pushing that narrative, they're not going to be happy about this right now. So they're just going to say, oh, they're going to deny it, and Diddy's going to be, no, I'm not going to be stupid and blindfolded the same way that Diddy had naive people in his circle that was blindfolded and dumb. You know what I'm saying? Because if they come out the fucking day of the verdict and say Diddy's not guilty or a mistrial, which I know, to me, I believe Diddy's going to be found guilty for something, or I think it's going to be a mistrial. But I do not see the sex trafficking and all that shit working, guys. Real rap. You know what I'm saying? So we just know Diddy Glover's a monster, but we need to blame these people that's up there lying and getting caught. You know damn well that man... Oh my God. Talking about I was high the day he dangled me. I would remember if somebody dangled me from a damn balcony, 17 stories, plus a Bible. So they looking at that shit like, come on, man, these lies are really ridiculous. They should have had a better team of liars up there, or let the real victims talk. This is crazy.
was forced to admit under a very, very tough cross-examination that she was not only Cassie Ventura's friend, she was also her drug dealer. This bombshell testimony happened in the 26th floor courtroom at federal court. Brianna testified that she still has nightmares from when Combs allegedly dangled her by her armpits over that balcony. I have to tell you that some legal experts are saying that these prosecution witnesses have been making plenty of headlines, but they have growing questions about whether the prosecution is actually proving this RICO sex trafficking case. Now, this morning,
y'all see that? They are having trouble proving that this is really a RICO sex trafficking case. Everybody, pay attention. Please don't let nobody lie to y'all. This is not a this is not a solid case. This is not we know for sure Diddy's going down. I don't want my people to be blindfolded like that. They are telling y'all this is not looking like a RICO thing because it's looking more like a FRICO during survival. And y'all know I talked about Diddy. I made fun of Diddy for 2 years straight. I am devastated. I thought that they was going to come in. I thought the feds had way more than this. Pure survival. Where is the tape with Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith tied up with bananas in their mouth? Pure survival with tennis balls in their mouth. Where are those tapes at? We haven't seen none of this stuff yet. We only seen these people, or I'm only seeing ex-girlfriends and then the friends of the girlfriends saying that Diddy beat them up. Pure survival. Come to find out these girls are crackheads and drug dealers. It looks bad to have these people up there testifying. I would have did better testifying against Diddy Glover. Pure survival. You should have had me on the stand. Look, Diddy hugged me from the back and held me tight. Pure survival. And I felt his package all on me. Your Honor. You know what I'm saying? Somebody need to fall out in the courtroom or something. Even their tears look fake as a motherfucker. Pure survival. It's not looking good, y'all.
Brianna testified that she still has nightmares from when Combs allegedly dangled her by her armpits over that balcony. I have to tell you that some legal experts are saying that these prosecution witnesses have been making plenty of headlines, but they have growing questions about whether the prosecution is actually proving this RICO sex trafficking case. Now, this morning, Diddy, accuser Brianna Bongelin, was back on the witness stand for a second day of tough cross-examination. Yesterday, she claimed on the stand that Sean Diddy Combs dangled her over a 17th floor balcony and pushed her into furniture. Today, she's getting pushback from the lawyer. She's testifying under an immunity deal, and we now know why that was so critical. Diddy attorney Nicole Westmoreland.
And this is the attorney, this little black lady right here, pure survival. She look half black and Japanese. She is a super good lawyer during survival, and she has actually been through domestic violence. She's been through all of that stuff. She's been tearing these fake victims out the frame. Pure survival. So they have been finding out. This is why they just filed for the second mistrial. I'm telling y'all, Diddy has a chance to beat this shit. So do not sit there and be naive. And don't get mad at me for telling y'all what's really going on. You can Google the shit. He filed for another mistrial. And his lawyers is the ones who told Diddy Glover, look, we got a chance. They done pulled out so many damn liars. Even the voice message with Diddy Glover sound like Diddy Glover was high as a motherfucker. Proud the Bible. Talking about, come on, you need to just come with me, because, if you're going to work, I need you to work that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on my job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to, get on your job. I'm over here, I'm naked. I got like 5 men right here and they want to pound you out. You got to get on your job. As you ready to get peed on, you got to get on your job. Or I'm not threatening you. I'm not threatening you at all, but you got to get on your job. And if you don't come over here and get peed on, then I'm going to leave you. You just ain't going to hear from me in a long time. You know what I mean? You got to get on your job. How is that a damn him forcing them to work? He's literally saying, I'm going to leave you alone. You're not going to be able to find me no more if you don't get over here and get urinated on. Pure survival. So they realize the people are going back to be urinated on because they're trying to get money. It's common sense. The man is saying, come get pissed on or it's over. Now, if Diddy would have said in the messages, look, if you don't get over here and get pissed on, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna, put the Glock 9 to your head and I'm gonna let that thing go. No, you know what I'm saying? It's showing that these people had choices. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, y'all, it's not looking good. Diddy's going for this mistrial, and this mistrial could possibly happen. Let's just not be naive during survival. Let's smash that like button. No, let's get them likes up.
Her into furniture. Today, she's getting pushback from the lawyer. She's testifying under an immunity deal, and we now know why that was so critical. Diddy attorney Nicole Westmoreland, who our camera captured going into the courthouse this morning, sliced up her testimony on the stand like a sushi chef, even getting her to...
Did you hear what they just said? They said Diddy's lawyers, this lawyer right here, Pure Bible, she sliced up that girl's testimony like a sushi chef during survival. I don't even know what a sushi chef is, Pure Bible, but it's a chop up. It sounds like it was some big time chopping up stuff. So they already know that Diddy's lawyers is tearing these liars up, Pure Bible. You know what I mean? They should have sat down and planned their lies out right. I feel like the girl that got drugged from said that she was at the balcony, she went to court high. Pure survival. She should have had to take a goddamn a drug test before y'all put that girl on the stand. They gonna set Diddy free with these motherfucking bullshits.
A 17th floor balcony and pushed her into furniture. Today, she's getting pushback from the lawyer. She's testifying under an immunity deal, and we now know why that was so critical. Diddy attorney Nicole Westmoreland, who our camera captured going into the courthouse this morning, sliced up her testimony on the stand like a sushi chef, even getting her to contradict her original statements to prosecutors. There's a lot to unpack here. Let's get right to the key issues in this case with attorney Robin Nunn. She's been in court for much of the trial. Now, the witnesses, as you know, have been making a lot of news headlines, but are they making any headway with the jury, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the prosecution is trying to build their case really brick by brick, and that's going to be a high bar. They're being charged.
You see that? They're saying that they're trying to build this case against Diddy brick by freak off brick during survival. Like, we thought that this case was already set in stone, right? We thought that they had all these tapes. We thought they had the real victims. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was just all ex-girlfriends mad because they got fired or dumped. Pure survival. You know what I mean? Or did he stop paying their rent? You know? So this woman is saying that it's hard. It's going to be hard for them to continue to stack them bricks to make the case stick. That's why he filed for this damn mistrial again.
Get right to the key issues in this case with attorney Robin Nunn. She's been in court for much of the trial. Now, the witnesses, as you know, have been making a lot of news headlines, but are they making any headway with the jury, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the prosecution is trying to build their case really brick by brick, and that's going to be a high bar. They've charged Diddy with racketeering, with sex trafficking, with, crossing straight lines with prostitution. These are really high federal crimes, and they require a lot of evidence. And then while they've started, I can't say that they've made their case as of yet.
So you see that? They saying that they have not made their case yet. They are sitting here trying to make the case in front of us. Instead of bringing us all waiting for this day of Diddy doing his trial, you telling me that y'all are creating the case as we go? Pure survival? And like she just said, they have not proven this whole RICO John Gotti freak-off case yet. Pure survival. So Diddy and his team just filed for another mistrial, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? I think the mistrial is going to be denied. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think the judge is going to deny it. Pure survival. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all think that the judge is going to grant it right now. I don't think it's going to be granted right now, but I'm thinking Diddy can possibly get this shit granted by the time of the verdict. If it keeps moving like this. Shout out God Lake that's got 1 and a 2 right there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that y'all understand how I'm trying to break it down to y'all. I'm not taking sides in this case no more. You know what I mean? I feel like in the very beginning, I was just team fuck Diddy, pure survival. And I'm not team Diddy at all. But now I want to watch what's really going on You know what I mean? I don't want to just say, "Oh, we got him. Oh, Diddy going down," and then come to find out, hold on, he really ain't even trafficked you. You chose to do it to 500 motherfuckers back to back in 2 hours. You chose to do that. How can I say that that's a damn crime or a RICO? And then he paid to take you to these exotic places in these different countries and all that type of stuff. You wanted to go. You wasn't forced to go fly out to these other places. That would be sex trafficking. You know, I watch court TV and stuff like that all my life. And I'm like, where is the case where the girl gets abducted and then she gets R-worded and then sent off and trafficked? Where is that at? These are girlfriends that got mad. Like I chose to be nasty, and then Diddy it ain't work. Diddy ain't want to marry me and go down the freak and walk down the freak off aisle, pierce the Bible, and people instead of people throwing rice, they throwing baby oil. Diddy wouldn't marry me, so now I want to see him done. No, I can't stand with that. It's not turning out right, y'all. I'm telling you.
I think that the prosecution is trying to build their case really brick by brick, and that's going to be a high bar. They've charged Diddy with racketeering, with sex trafficking, with crossing straight lines with prostitution. These are really high federal crimes, and they require a lot of evidence. And then while they've started, I can't say that they've made their case as of yet.
So still more to go, a lot more to go. What about with the witnesses, because the alleged victims, because they are saying things and then the defense comes up with evidence that they had text messages long after the contact with Diddy or the relationship with Diddy ended that seem to contradict that, telling him they love him, they miss him, that type of thing. What effect does that
Y'all
have?
see that? The effect of that. These people said that Diddy was victimizing them. He was their victimizer. Pure survival. Somebody's victimizing you. And then they find text messages with these people saying, "Oh, we love you, Diddy. Oh, I want to party tonight. I want to get freaky, Diddy. You're the best." After the days and the times that they supposed to been mistreated. You think that the judge and the jury ain't looking at that, Pure Bible? That their stories aren't matching up? If I tell you somebody did something to me last week, Pure Bible, you best believe I'm not talking to that person no more. They got messages proving that these people wanted to be in Diddy's life after he's supposed to done shit to him. You know what I'm saying? You gotta prove sex trafficking, and it's not.
With crossing straight lines with prostitution. These are really high federal crimes, and they require a lot of evidence. And then while they've started, I can't say that they've made their case as of yet.
So still more to go, a lot more to go. What about with the witnesses, because the alleged victims, because they are saying things and then the defense comes up with evidence that they had text messages long after the contact with Diddy or the relationship with Diddy ended that seem to contradict that, telling him they love him, they miss him, that type of thing. What effect does that have on the jury, do you think?
Yeah, I think it has a big effect. Diddy has a team of really high-profile defense lawyers, and they're doing an excellent job of cross-examining these witnesses, cross-examining the evidence that they're putting forward.
Do you hear what this woman's saying? Diddy has excellent lawyers, and they are proving excellently that these people are not victims. They were willing participants during survival. That doesn't say that Diddy's not a bad person for everybody just want, "Oh, he's a super monster." We know that. We are trying to prove sex trafficking. God damn it. And we are not proving it here. We are proving it's a bunch of money hungry hoes. Hoes. Drug addict hoes. High price motherfucking drug addict hoes. Pure survival. With a lot of makeup and fake breasts and fake tasty cakes. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. We cannot sit here and be lying all the time.
Relationship with Diddy ended that seem to contradict that, telling him they love him, they miss him, that type of thing. What effect does that have on the jury, do you think?
Yeah, I think it has a big effect. Diddy has a team of really high-profile defense lawyers, and they're doing an excellent job of cross-examining these witnesses, cross-examining the evidence that they're putting forward, and really going into the heart of whether someone can really have this long-term relationship, have all of these sort of social media posts that lead one to conclude that they are a mentor, a friend, a loved one, and those types of terminologies being used publicly and outwardly. But now they're saying that they were actually abused, they were being tortured, they were being forced into working situations that were hostile and untenable. So it's tough.
And even the
Yes, it's going to be tough to prove that this person forced you into all of this and yada 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 yada, and it's not adding up. Salute to Lady D, hit that super chat first in the building. Pure survival. Said even if ladies are lying, it doesn't mean he's innocent. Facts. Diddy has hurt a lot of people, but money talks. Facts, Lady D. And that's the thing, right? They charged him with sex trafficking, right? So the fact that everybody knows that Diddy's a horrible individual, it's like that's all we're thinking about. Because we all know that he did some terrible things. Pure Bible. So you're absolutely right. The only thing is he's being charged with the wrong charges. Lady D, like you totally right. Diddy should have been locked up with the Cassie video. That would have been assault. That would have been aggravated assault. That would have been charges that you can really say, okay, we saw it on camera. He really did it. But taking these people that wanted to go on these trips, that wanted to fuck, that wanted to suck, I can't give them this pacifier when I know that these women are lying and they getting caught lying. And they wanted to be with Diddy after he was doing these horrible things. Spells the Bible. So that's the only thing. So now he went for this second mistrial, y'all. And I'm just telling you, they're going to deny this mistrial to me. They're going to deny that shit on Monday. I would just faint if they let that nigga out, say that mistrial Monday. I would just pass out. But I think they're going to deny it on Monday. Just like, think about this. Everything Diddy went for, he was denied for it. So you got to imagine to yourself, okay, they denied his bail 3 times. They denied him trying for a mistrial like a week and a half ago or a week ago. He's going for a mistrial again. They're going to end up granting something after hearing all of these people and these stories that's not adding up to. I know if somebody did something to me, anytime somebody did something to me, I stopped dealing with them anymore. If I worked at a job and the boss was mean as a motherfucker, or I couldn't stand the boss, or you know what I mean, stuff like that, or try to make me do extra stuff, I quit. They wanted to live this luxury lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have to feel bad for real victims. I can't feel bad for grown adults that wanted to be up under this man. They knew he was a sicko. We all know that Diddy's a sicko. Pure survival.
Of cross-examining these witnesses, cross-examining the evidence that they're putting forward, and really going into the heart of whether someone can really have this long-term relationship, have all of these sort of social media posts that lead one to conclude that they are a mentor, a friend, a loved one, and those types of terminologies being used publicly and outwardly. But now they're saying that they were actually abused, they were being tortured, they were being forced into working situations that were hostile and untenable. So it's tough.
And even Mia, the one who went under the pseudonym Mia, the ex-assistant, saying that she was brainwashed. That's why that was her answer when she was cross-examined about why did you stay in contact with this man years after you were gone.
Yes, Mia is an example of witness number 4 who is testifying.
Y'all see that? Why did you stay with this man years after that? This crazy ass girl sat on the stand because I was brainwashed. She said because I was brainwashed during survival. No, you were brainwashed for the money. You wasn't brainwashed. No, you knew what you wanted. You wanted that money. You wanted to have that lifestyle. Did it 50 Cent baby mom? She went up there. She's up there testifying right now. And I found out that 50 Cent baby mom, that Diddy is still paying for this girl's rent right now. How can you sit across from me in the courtroom, pure survival, and say I did all these things to you and I'm paying for your rent right now? This is crazy, y'all. I can't even make it up. But my whole goal, like I said, I'm not putting my personal feelings in this. I just want to tell my people, Diddy's team filed for another mistrial. And for y'all who want to know what it mean or why they're going for this, because these stories aren't like adding up. People's stories are, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a person that only want to listen to people saying, "Oh, he's done," then you're not going to hear the other side. Because at the end of the day, it's up to the jury people who how they really feel. You know what I'm saying? So I still just wanted to be known. So if they came out and said something crazy that everybody, because everybody don't want them to be found not guilty. But if it came out to be that, at least y'all would know or saw it coming before it happened. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I feel like shit. If you get found guilty for these females that wanted to be there and shit, I feel like that would be messed up. The 50 Cent baby mom, that girl was no saint. That Jackie Chan's daughter was a whole fucking freak off fucking warrior. Pure survival. Diddy made her have freak offs. Well, told her, look, you want to freak off on her birthday? Who gonna let somebody boss them around on their birthday? This is my goddamn day. Pure survival. They didn't say nothing about him putting a gun to their head or nothing. They could have easily left him. The consequence with Diddy, from what I heard with 50 Cent baby mom, was that he was going to leave her alone and she would never see him again. And then Cassie said she didn't want Diddy to go mess with somebody else. Why they all didn't want Diddy to go with somebody else if he was so horribly treating them? Pure survival. Wouldn't you be happy your abuser found somebody else to abuse? Pure survival versus you. You know what I mean? They was all mad when it was time for him to go with somebody else. Man, I'm just not that naive, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm saying what I'm seeing happen. I've been in the trial. I was in the courtroom with Diddy. You know what I'm talking about? Looking at the back of his freak off neck. Pure survival. In the courtroom. I've been in the overflow room. I done been at the trial several times. So I'm not only am I seeing what's happening from a distance, I'm seeing what's happening face to face. And it's not looking like that slam dunk case that I thought that it was in the very beginning. I swear to goodness, I'm like, this man, what is he got fucking Justin Bieber with a dog chain around his neck. Oprah, you ain't shit for selling the tape. Like, I'm done waiting for all of this stuff. Come to find out it's a bunch of ex-girlfriends. One Diddy to marry them, willing to do his sick sex fantasy, allowing it to happen. And then in the very end, now I'm here to say that the man made me do it. I'm sorry. I just can't say that I can't do the sex trafficking thing. I can do the violent thing. I can do the he's a messed up motherfucker. I can do the all of that shit. But not no people that could have left and no.
Going into the heart of whether someone can really have this long-term relationship, have all of these sort of social media posts that lead one to conclude that they are a mentor, a friend, a loved one, and those types of terminologies being used publicly and outwardly. But now they're saying that they were actually abused, they were being tortured, they were being forced into working situations that were hostile and untenable. So it's tough.
And even Mia, the one who went under the pseudonym Mia, the ex-assistant, saying that she was brainwashed. That's why that was her answer when she was cross-examined about why did you stay in contact with this man years after you were gone.
Yes, Mia is an example of witness number 4 who is testifying under anonymity. Her identity, her face is not being shown, her name is not being used. She wants no connection to actually publicly being a part of this case, but as alleged, despite having some facts that have come out to the contrary, that she had a really difficult time and that she is now unable to work based on her treatment by Diddy during her employment with him.
And what about the defense? Because there's so many different lawyers, there's a big team, you have different people going up for these cross-examinations. How do you think the defense is doing?
I think the defense is walking a really tight rope here. Like on some levels, these are victims. There has been some admission by Diddy that an act did occur that he is not proud of. So there is...
Y'all see that? It occurs that some of the victim situation was assault situations. Okay, some of these people been beat up. Some of these people been da-da-da-da-da. But And we all know that. Even Diddy's team was they were so smart when they first came in by admitting, okay, we know Diddy's a wiener head. We know Diddy's horrible. We know he's violent. That's why they said it in the beginning, because they knew all of his violent acts was going to come out. Pure survival. But the whole goal to get a conviction of RICO is to prove sex trafficking, coercion, forced labor, all of that type of stuff when these girls weren't forced. You know what I'm saying? Like that is turning out to be. I thought that they was, but that's not what I've been seeing.
A really tight rope here. Like on some levels, these are victims. There has been some admission by Diddy that an act did occur that he is not proud of. So there is some level of, carefulness with how you interact with people who have claimed to be sexually abused or assaulted by someone in a position of power. But then there's another aspect where it's getting to the credibility of these witnesses. Credibility is going to be key in this case, whether or not the jurors believe that these people are relatable, that they're telling the truth, that their story is believable, or whether...
Do y'all hear that? It's going to lie to credibility. If these people are telling the truth or are they're lying, it's all boiling down now to credibility. It's not boiling down to what I thought it would be. Oh my God, that's the bombshell goddamn proof. If this was an aggravated assault charge and Diddy, after looking at that video, I say guilty. Give him what aggravated assault carry. Piss him out. Give him the max for that. But this right here, it's going to go off of credibility if they're telling the truth, or are they doing this for a reason of to try to get money or to try to, if any of that type of stuff. And it's starting to look bad, y'all. I'm just serious.
There has been some admission by Diddy that an act did occur that he is not proud of. So there is some level of, carefulness with how you interact with people who have claimed to be sexually abused or assaulted by someone in a position of power. But then there's another aspect where it's getting to the credibility of these witnesses. Credibility is going to be key in this case, whether or not the jurors believe that these people are relatable, that they're telling the truth, that their story is believable, or whether they have something else to gain.
What about the defense tactics?
Yes, the defense is doing, I think, a really excellent job of talking to the witnesses, to reminding them of some of the things that they said in the past that they might not quite recall. They've been scouring social media and doing a lot of research and finding old posts, old videos, old pictures.
They've been finding old posts, old videos, old pictures with these people praising Diddy, all of this shit, and then they coming in here saying what they saying right now. Yo, listen, guys. As I said, I'm going to keep on following this trial. I will be back down in New York. I think that Diddy's going to get denied this mistrial that he just put in. This is the second one. But I'm not going to go in this thing biased any longer. After me being a grown adult and me hearing these stories and what these alleged victims are saying, I got to call a spade a spade. And what I see of the possibilities, I just don't want to be looking crazy as hell the day of the verdict and I just passed the fuck out. How did he get found, or how did a mistrial? Because I was refusing to look at what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man. Like I said, man, like, share, subscribe. Diddy's going for a second mistrial. We're going to see what happens. I think it's going to be denied, but I wouldn't be surprised if this turned into a mistrial the day of the verdict. Pure survival.